After weeks of shopping, hanging ornaments, planning meals, and making arrangements for flights home, Christmas is finally here. Hi, this is Tony Agnesi. The pressure, anxiety, and worry will soon be over. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in the hoopla and anticipation that we overlook the most important elements of the holiday. As I was searching for something to reflect on this Christmas that might make this a better Christmas for you and me, I have to admit that I was so stressed from the season that nothing came to mind. These were the thoughts that went through my mind as I made my first of 3 trips to the airport on Christmas Eve. I arrived about 15 minutes before my son Matthew's flight was to arrive from Orlando, Florida. As I walked through the terminal, I passed an older gentleman in a stocking cap. As our eyes met, we exchanged Christmas greetings. And as we passed each other, he looked down at my shoes and said, "I can put a Christmas shine on those." Surprised, I replied, "Maybe later. I've got to check on my son's flights." As I sat down in the restricted area waiting for his arrival, I looked up and there was a shoeshine stand just a few yards away. And standing there was that same gentleman with whom I had just exchanged Christmas greetings. As he spotted me, he smiled and said, "Are you ready for that Christmas shine now?" "Sure," I replied. "I've got about 15 minutes before my son's flight arrives." As I climbed up to the seat on his stand, it felt great because I realized it was probably the first time I had to sit down all day. "How are you?" I offered in small talk. "Blessed. I'm blessed," he replied. And with that, he began to tell me that he had just been released from the hospital a week ago, that it was his first day back on the job, that he had a heart problem and wasn't expected to make it. "It's a miracle," he told me, "that I'm alive today, and I'm so grateful." He said this in such a humble voice. And now it's Christmas Eve, and I'm alive. And my wife is home cooking, and my children and grandchildren will be at my house on Christmas Day. This could have been a very sad week, but God has blessed me with a second chance at life, and this will be the best Christmas ever. As he applied the polished and brushed away at my shoes, they began to take on a shine. "Wow," I exclaimed, "they look shinier than when I bought them." "I'm just getting started," he replied. "You know, most shoe shine stands just brush and buff, but I'm going to give them a spit shine." As he continued to apply coats of polish and snap his cloth, I asked, "How long have you been shining shoes?" 53 years, he responded without missing a beat of the rhythm of his snapping cloth. "I started shining shoes when I was 9 years old. I'm 62 now, and I'm so proud of the job I do. I think I'm the best in the business." After a few finishing touches, he finished, and I agreed that this was the best shoe shine that I had ever seen. And as I stepped down from the stand, our eyes met again. He questioned me, "Does that look like a $5 shine to you?" "No," I said. "It looks more like a $20 shine to me," as I reached for my wallet and handed him a $20 bill. "Merry Christmas," he said humbly. "And a blessed Christmas to you and your wife and family too," I responded, as I noticed that my son's flight had just arrived. Later that evening, I stood near the manger in our living room, and I began to reflect on our conversation. I too have had health scares, and I was there to enjoy the holiday. I too am grateful to be alive. My wife was cooking and baking and preparing for Christmas Day. I've been at my job 50 plus years this past January. And just like the shoeshine man, I feel that I'm the best at what I do. As I stood before the manger scene, I realized that his humble gratitude had rubbed off on me, just as the dust and grime had been rubbed off my shoes. He had shined my heart at the same time he shined my shoes. As my head bowed, a tear fell from my face onto my newly shined shoes, and I could feel God's love shining in my heart. And that's my Christmas wish for you, my friend. May you be grateful to be alive, to be spending time with family, to be proud of the work you do to support them, whether you're a doctor or a shoeshine man. May the light of our Savior Jesus Christ, the light of the world, shine in your heart like the glow in my heart and the gleam of my $20 shine. If you enjoy these reflections, we invite you to subscribe and follow us on YouTube and Facebook Live. And if you feel someone can benefit, please feel free to share these on your social media. Have a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. God bless you. This is Tony Agnesi.